What is up, YouTube? Dark God back again, day 8 of the October Horror Movie Challenge, where I'm trying to watch 100 films. Well, I'm trying to do 200 this year, but usually it's 100 films on DVDtalk.com. You can follow along on there, see how everybody's doing. I'm not even the top person on the list. There's people that are blowing past me and just pumping them out, and it's all different kinds. You got people doing 100, 200, you got people doing 20, 10, 31. 31's a big number, obviously a movie a night. So it's pretty good to follow on there and see what everybody else is watching. You can also check on Letterboxd, where I do Hooptober. So there's two different variations of it. You have the October Horror Movie Challenge, where, like I said, it's to watch 100, but Hooptober is to watch only 33. It's a little more distinct of what you have to hit with the films. There's like certain criteria all the films have to hit. With me watching 200, I'm going to have 33 films in there that are going to qualify for everything. So it's going to succeed anyway. So that being said, I got 6 films in last night. Was an okay night. I watched some stuff. A lot of rewatches. I think there was only one new movie last night. A lot of stuff was mediocre, but I did get to watch one of my favorite horror films last night. So the first film I watched was a Shudder exclusive, I believe. I know it's on Shudder. It might be on Prime too, though, called 30 Miles from Nowhere. And it's I guess it's considered a horror film, but it's kind of like a little more. There's a little more like thriller involved in it with the way everything's set. I guess they build it up where it looks like it's more horror than it is, and when you get the reveal at the end, it's more realistic than what was happening. It's an okay twist and everything. There's a lot of people in this film that you're going to say, oh, what, that person's from somewhere. I've seen that person before. And there's a couple like that you notice. It's not a bad film. It's decent. Like the twist is kind of cool, but you're not going to get it. You're not going to like. I don't think you're going to see the twist coming. But it's not anything that's like groundbreaking. It filled time and everything. It's an average movie. I'll never go back and watch it again. But it's 5 out of 10. On Shudder, like I said, decent, like, I don't know, there's decent dread in it. Like, it feels like there's, like, a lot more going on than there is. There's a couple scenes that are like, have to do with, like, a cockroach infestation and just, like, stuff in the walls. Like, they think there's rats in the walls and stuff. And that's all cool. It's helped set up the tension and everything. Second film was a rewatch, but I do like it. It is a great film from the 80s. William Lustig's Maniac Cop. And I actually through this month, I do plan on watching all 3. I don't think I've ever seen the third one. I've seen the first 2. Don't think I've ever seen the third one before, but I've seen the first one plenty of times. And it's funny because it's a film I never caught when I was a kid. And my friends that were horror fans, I remember them talking about Maniac Cop, and it's just something I never saw in the video store, never was able to rent, always missed out on and everything. Caught it years later. I think I caught it in my late 20s finally, and I did like it. I mean, it's. The gore is amazing. The cast is great. You get Bruce Campbell in it, of course, and Zadar. I forget his first name. Is Joe Zadar, the guy who plays the Maniac Cop and everything. And it's really good gore. William Lustig he encapsulates New York just so well, like the seediness of like the 80s and early 90s, just like the Times Square when it's not what it is today and everything. Third film that would be a 6 out of 10. Third film I watched. It goes by a couple different titles. The title I saw it as is Dead Kids, but also goes to Strange Behavior. Australian, I've seen people call it Ozploitation, but it's not an Ozploitation movie. Like, there's nothing that's like Aussie about it. It takes place in America. It's a by the number slasher flick with a little bit of a twist with like how the kids are all kind of messed up and everything. Good gore for like an early 80s movie and a low budget film. Definitely worth a rewatch. I think I've heard a lot of people always put it over for like that slasher mold, that it's one of the overlooked ones, and it really is, because I mean I've other than that, nobody ever puts on top 10 lists or anything, and it does have like a lot of cool scenes, a lot of cool kills and everything. So it's definitely worth a check out. I go 5.5 out of 10 on that. Like I said, it's decent, worth a rewatch. I think maybe if I rewatch it, I actually might bump up to 6. I just got to see. Next film after that is one of my top 10 horror films all time. It's my favorite horror film, favorite Hammer horror film. Mostly, I think, because Christopher Lee gets to be a good guy in it, and that's The Devil Rides Out. It's just very well done. It's this very H.P. Lovecraft feel to it. Christopher Lee just playing a good guy. I mean, it's not something you get to see all the time. I mean, you probably count on one hand how many times you've seen him be a good guy in a film, and it's it's different because he's out of his element and just shows how good he is, that he's able to, no problems, be that good guy, be the Count in this and everything, and just, or the Lord, and just how he has this, like, H.P. Lovecraft always had his characters like have this little bit of intelligence of the occult, and that's how Christopher Lee's character is in this. And then, I mean, just obviously has to do with all with Satanism and black magic and everything, and just very well done, even for a film in 1968. Like, 68's a big year for film. You have that, Rosemary's Baby, Night of the Living Dead. I think Night of the Living Dead obviously is more historic for what it ushered in and everything, but for me, Devil Rides Out is a better film. It's better made, better quality. It just does everything better, in my opinion. There's a little bit of corniness with the big spider and everything, but like towards the end, there's a scene where like death comes, and the way they do it is just, it's so cool. Like, it's just a different take on it, and it's 7 out of 10 for me. Like I said, it's in my top 10 horror films of all time, top 10 favorite. After that, I watched Blood Harvest, film I seen way back, probably like 1990. I seen it. It was on cable all the time on Cinemax and Showtime, and starring Tiny Tim. And it just wasn't, it always struck me as like corny, and finally getting to watch it older and like watching the whole thing, it's not a bad storyline. It's a good storyline. It's just not a well-made film, and Tiny Tim is just so horribly awkward that he plays a character good, but it takes, like, a lot of scenes that he's in are just, you're taken right out of, because his voice is just so annoying. So everything about him is just creepiness to it. I mean, which adds to the film, but at the same time, it kind of takes you out of it. I can't even read my own writing. Can't even read my writing. Last film I watched last night, House by the Cemetery, Lucio Fulci. So, first time I ever saw this, I hated this film. Hated it. You know, I really didn't like Fulci when I first, the Beyond I didn't like the first time I seen it. And, you know, maybe like beer and vegetables, it's an acquired taste over time or something, and you learn to like it, and then you learn to appreciate it, then you learn to love it, because, I mean, Fulci to me is just, some of his stuff is so bad, but he's just so fun to watch. Like, everything he does, it's like, you know, oh, this person has to get killed. Oh, they could get stabbed. Or they could get stabbed with a piece of glass through the eyeball out the back of their skull. You know, it just, Fulci just goes so overboard at times, and it's just so awesome. Like the drill scene in From Beyond, or The Beyond, I'm sorry. No, From Beyond. Yeah. Anyway, the drill scene, when the guy's getting the drill in the face. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Fuck, I'm fucking this up. City of the Living Dead. Wow, I'm like way off. City of the Living Dead, a guy gets a drill in the face, and the whole time it feels like he's just gonna escape, like, because it's just drawing out this drill, getting to his face. And you're like, oh, he's gonna get out of it, and then the drill hits his face and starts going into his mouth and everything. And you're like, holy shit, man! Like, he drew that out, like waiting for the fans to be like, oh, he's gonna get out of this. It's taking too long, and then here it goes, blowing right into his cheek, blood spurting everywhere, and that's what you learn to love about Fulci, just like the craziness he does. Like, I mean, this whole movie, hold on, there's one thing I hate about this film. It has one of the most ridiculous kids in any horror film. There's 3 kids in horror films I hate. Bob from this, the kid from, from Mausoleum, the Epidus Rex fetish with his mom, and the kid from the Babadook. But Bob with this, I think I just hate because of his American dubbed voice. It's just so annoying, and he's just so annoying, you know. And I feel bad because he's just a kid acting in a great horror film. So House by Cemetery, 6 out of 10, definitely worth something to watch and rewatch. It's a film, like, I usually watch it at least once a year, maybe, just to, usually around hard, just to, because it's, I mean, around October, because it's usually in one of these streaming services, so you just throw it on, check it out and everything. So that's day 8 in the books on my quest for 200. I'll probably do it. I hope they do it. I don't know. We'll see. Till then, catch you on the flip side.